Welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Hello to everybody watching live on Twitch, and if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to join us live for this show every Thursday at 5 p.m. EST for the live show. Today, we are playing Once Upon a Time, so let's go around the cast and crew, figure out who we are and who we're playing. We'll start with our wonderful guests first. We have Will.
How's it going? I'm Will. You've seen me here at least once before, I hope. I'm playing Kieran. He's a fighter. He likes hitting things with a sword. It's pretty straightforward. I'm very excited, and I'm very, very keen for today.
I can't wait to meet Kieran. So next up we have Sir Lucian Gaming.
Yep, my name's Lucian. I'm from Sir Lucian Gaming Channel, and I can't wait to jump in and play some Dungeons and Dragons. I'll be playing Rekt, who is the Dragonborn, blue-scaled Dragonborn, and it should be a fun character, Sorcerer, so I get to play around with some cool spells. So I'm excited. I hope everybody else is.
Nice. And we have Stefan TJ back again.
Indeed. Hey, folks. I'm reprising my role as Chirpy Chip Chip, the Aarakocran Bard. Hopefully this time around we won't need to resurrect any of the furniture. But it's going to be a good night, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to it.
And for our usual cast and crew, no, we don't address it. We don't address the desk that they murdered and revived. And for one of our regular crew, we have Cleric of Cord.
Hello, I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord on the Twitters. I am playing Due Diligence, the Warforged War Wizard, who has not had a good run of luck lately. He's been a little battered, a little beat up, but the front desk is a mimic, I think. Who knows? But we do have the rules for everyone. There are more rules for Chirpy to learn. The pamphlets are ready. Let's do this.
All right, and I am your DM tonight. I am Susanna Grace, otherwise known as Susie, and I am ready to begin some shenanigans with these fine folks tonight. Because you know, if it's one of these games, if it's a Once Upon a Time, you know shenanigans are afoot. So before we do get into these shenanigans, before we start today's show, I'll remind you folks that we are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, which is our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free. Yes, that's free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer, and 40k minis for 20% off. This week, check out our sponsor Dice Envy, who have an amazing subscription service where you can get cool new dice every month. Starting at just $5, you have access to limited run dice delivered straight to your door. Join us at diceenvy.com and use the code ENCOUNTERRP, that's ENCOUNTERRP, no spaces, for 10% off everything. You can also support the show by retweeting this tweet here, which, wow, Will is on it. Click that little link, retweet the tweet, and finally, I'll remind you how you can interact with tonight's game. You can donate to affect our game by giving players natural ones, natural 20s, wild magic surges, and this month's special, the Table of Pets. And if there's a moment you love during the show, please do clip it on Twitch. We'll be using these in highlight reels and on Twitter. So if you have a moment you love, anything that makes you laugh, high drama, high tension, high stakes, clip it, share it, get the word out there, get people watching. And without any further ado, we'll get this show on the road. So, last week, love was in the air in the land of far, far away. More specifically, the amorphous-shaped land of Thailandia. It was the annual Festival of Love, Valentine's Day. And Captain Colt, in a very, very unseasonably good mood, gave the crew tickets to a show very, very popular in Thailandia called Blind Date. It was a romance dating show on Saturday nights, a staple of any household in Thailandia. Little did the cast and crew know that they would actually be on the show as potential bachelors and bachelorettes for a mysterious stranger. After a interesting first encounter with Scintilla Black, the beloved host of Blind Date, the crew got themselves on the stage and began to play the game. The particular stranger for romancing in question was a handsome prince from a faraway land who was looking for a future royal to make their partner. Questions were asked, including how do you distract your friends? The prince talks about potatoes. What's the craziest thing you've ever done, kind of thing, your usual. Which, by the way, I got from actual episodes of Blind Date. Yes, I watched Blind Date for you folks. I took that bullet. One of our party found that things were a bit strange in this setup. The crowd were mechanical in a sense. They were reactive, not proactive. They were only reacting when told to by signs held up. And after a few well-placed I forgot what they're called. The little spiky things that you stand on. Caltrops. There we go. Caltrops, we got it. After a few well-placed and well-thrown caltrops, including one at the head of the prince and one at the head of Scintilla Black, our party discovered that everything wasn't quite as it seemed here. In fact, it wasn't so very long after that Scintilla Black was revealed to be a pit fiend as she stood before the group with a surprise, holding her tiny flashcards in one hand and a huge mace in the other as battle ensued. It was a close fight with a couple of members very, very close to being knocked out. Due diligence took a beating, but ultimately, Scintilla was defeated, and the prince admitted that he was actually a bullywug that had been cursed to appear as human, and he wanted to return to his froggy, slimy form as he found the human body disgusting. After smooches went around the party trying to break this curse, as we described him, hentai cleric cast remove curse using his tongue. With the kiss of his people, as this cleric was a Frenchman, the curse was removed, and the prince was returned once more to his froggy self. So, we begin this week with due diligence. You are on your own in the office. The usual suspects are nowhere to be seen. Maylene is still away. Sooty has taken some leave. Who knows where Finbar is? But you find yourself there.
Did we get closed? And I didn't get the message? I never get the memos. Wait, I print the memos. Somebody would have told me. Captain! He pulls out his whistle, his police whistle, because that's what you do when you're city guard and you need help. You need another member of the city guard. You pull out your whistle and you blow on it. So he pulls out his whistle and he blows on it.
Mm-hmm. You hear from the captain's office. You hear him laughing at something, like a low chuckle, and he steps out of his office. Oh, by the way, the captain is a centaur, just in case you weren't aware.
He's a very stable influence on us.
God damn it. You see him holding a sort of a rectangular, smallish tablet, almost one would say in the size and shape of a phone. And he's holding it landscape and looking at something, and you hear him. Yes, due diligence.
I'm alone.
Yes, you are. Well, yes, Finbar hasn't called in for 3 weeks. We haven't seen him. Who knows? Probably under the guise of, or what she called the fashion editor lady. She's probably still trapped with her somewhere. And Sooty is off ill, as you know.
He said he would be tied up for a while.
I have heard things about Mallory Effersent to that regard. Yes. We're probably not going to see hide nor hair of that poor boy for quite some time. Sooty's ill, as you know. You filed the paperwork for her.
Yes. Yes.
And Maylene has extended her leave of absence.
She's under temporary quarantine, I believe. After the Corgi incident.
Yes, the Corgi incident. We will speak no further of that. I had to file extensive paperwork.
Yes, I know. I filled it out in triplicate for you.
You did. Thank you for that. And he comes over to your desk and he says, well, it's a bit of a quiet day. Have you seen this? And he shows you something on this small tablet. And you see a big gaudy logo in the corner that says ViewTube. And he seems to be watching compilations of like dogs falling over and cats doing silly things. And he's having a huge hearty chuckle to himself as he shows you these.
Why are you watching animal abuse?
It's not abuse due diligence. They're just being silly. Look at them. This dog thinks it's a person. He's wearing little sunglasses. Look at that.
But it's a dog.
Yes. How
is this not abuse?
Well, you see, due diligence, humans and people like humans, such as myself, like to ascribe humanistic characteristics to our pets. So when they do silly things, it's very humorous to us because they act like big silly babies.
Is that why Finbar put the googly eyes on me?
And you see at this point the captain just starts laughing as he remembers the googly-eyed incident. yes, Drew, that his wife Finbar put the googly eyes on you. As you're talking, the video auto skips to the next one, and you see a young human male who is seated in front of this large screen that you can't see, and you hear him say, "What up, guys? I'm PDP. Nice to see you all." And he's like, and you watch as the captain just goes, "Oh, I hate him," and cuts off. But I suppose we should have had enough giggles for today. And the captain's face is like stoic once more. There's no hint of any emotion on his face.
Would you like
more
appear
coffee? To be? Yes, actually, yes. But we appear to be understaffed, so I shall put some feelers out about the departments and see if we can get some people in just in case something happens while everybody's off having a good time.
That would be good. The last time I went for coffee, there was somebody holding up the line. I had to arrest them.
You didn't have to arrest them, and I'll have you know that was quite a lengthy problem. That had to go to our legal department too.
But he was holding up the line, sir.
He was indeed holding up the line, but a hold up of the line is not the same as a hold up. Now, I do appreciate your diligence, due as it was on that matter. However, I feel like you may have jumped several guns when arresting that young man.
I can't jump. The pistons are broke.
If you go get the
parts in yet.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. But if you could just go get the coffee, I'll sort out everything else.
Yes,
so,
Captain.
Small time skip. You folks are at your various points around the department. You could be having lunch. You could be doing whatever it is. It could be collecting evidence, storing evidence. But you get a beep that you are needed in the detective quarters of the TPD. And you arrive one by one to find a large centaur man sat in his office drinking a tiny espresso, and you see a warforged person sat at their desk in a ovoid shape. I'm trying not to think of previous descriptions. Filing paperwork.
Well, Chirpy will walk up to Dew and bend over and pull out whatever is coming out of her printer slot, in as much as if the two of them are in there together, there's bound to be a new rule that he's not aware of yet, and that will only cause him trouble if he doesn't know about it.
Oh, yes, Chirpy. Yes, good. You have a copy of the new rules.
Oh,
It is good to see you again. I would advise not spending time near the captain. He seems to enjoy watching videos of animal abuse.
Isn't that illegal?
No, I have no snap-on components. They're all bolted.
I what? Can you hear me? Okay, fuck. I asked if that was illegal, and animal abuse and all that, isn't that, what we're here to arrest people for?
Illegal. I thought you said a
Yes.
Lego. Illegal. Only if the captain and Finbar say it's illegal, and I don't have a warrant for that. I should make a warrant for that. I'll get a warrant for that. You need a copy of the rules. Hold on. And you hear the sound of a dot matrix printer, and then a little pamphlet that's been collated and stapled together pops out and is handed to you.
I immediately open it and just start reading what it relates to in terms of sharp objects and swords and the like.
There are no rules about sharp objects yet.
And last but not least, a large blue dragonborn walks through the door.
Yes, I was in orientation. It's my first day, but then that was interrupted, so I didn't really get through all of that yet. But the beeping sent me here, and I'm supposed to speak to you?
Oh, yes, the captain. We shouldn't interrupt him. He's drinking his coffee. And
Don't
again, the sound of the dot matrix printer.
And just for the benefit of our new compatriots in the TPD, would you mind telling us the rules as they stand?
The rules as they stand, there are 9 of them. 1, the captain must always have his coffee. 2, no kink shaming. 3, always have a warrant. 4, Finbar is always right. He's not here, this rule does not apply. 5, we don't talk about the rocking horse. Number 6, everyone will be buried in a Hawaiian shirt.
red.
Number 7, bloom, not boom. Number 8, don't touch the ooze. Number 9, when in doubt, burn it out. First, bloom, not boom, but if in doubt, burn it out.
Straightforward. Great. Got it. Thanks.
Muted Will. Nope. Oh.
Almost?
Is that better?
Yeah, we got you.
Noise?
There we go.
Bloody microphone. I think I've got it. It seems pretty straightforward. Burn things down when in doubt.
Bloom first. Bloom before boom.
Yeah. Right, okay.
As long as you have a warrant.
I find having one of these helps, says Chirpy, opens up his jacket pocket and hands out a plastic flower.
Thank you.
You'll notice that there is a little plastic tube leading from the bottom of it back into Chirpy's pocket.
Oh no, I won't notice it at all. I'm an idiot. I was closely looking at this plastic flower. What's a flower for?
Oh, makes you smell good, like they do. And there is a spray of perfume out of the top of it.
I was just coughing and hacking and.
Are you allergic?
At this wonderful sound that sounds not unlike a donkey dying, Captain Colt comes out of his office holding this tiny little espresso cup. I see that you have all arrived. Excellent. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Captain Colt. This here is Due Diligence. Have you completed the orientation due? Handed out your pamphlets?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
They have the rule.
Well, luckily for all of you, we have just had a call in. Now, the department is rather busy. Now, this is usually Constable Bob's job. We send him off to do whatever. But he is currently tangled up somewhere. So, there has been a report of suspicious wolf activity on the edge of town. A young male has called it in, and I need you to go investigate for us.
Is it the dwarves again?
Not yet.
Is it Little Red Riding Hood?
Well, the last time it was wolves, it was dwarves.
Yes, it was 7 dwarves in a wolf-shaped trench coat. That is correct. Unfortunately, Miss Hood is missing in action. She was killed undercover investigating Granny's donut factory.
Makes sense.
There was a lot of flour involved.
They were good donuts.
Yes. They were good donuts. Were being the operative word there. Now, you've got 10 minutes. Grab your things, make your way out there.
Yes, sir. The new ones are better with Granddad's special glaze. I love you, Susie.
Sure. Do you know,
This is amazing.
I looked in the reaction gift folder for how to roleplay. Do you know the reaction gift to me? And me putting my head in my hands, crying. Anyway, so you gather your equipment, you get your things together, and you head out of town towards where this report was called in. As you arrive at a seems to be a large pasture. But what you see before you is horrific. You see what appears to be sheep completely ripped in half and bits of wool just flown all over, covered in blood. You see huge gouges in the earth. You see all sorts of horrific, just a mass murder, Quentin Tarantino-esque massacre of sheep has happened in this field. And lying there in the middle, surrounded by this chaos, is a body face down in the dirt.
It's a good thing Sooty's not here. It looks like veal is on the menu. No, lamb. We will be having lamb.
Which rule does this apply? As he waves his hands to everything in front of us.
We must have a warrant. I have all the warrants.
Chirpy looks up a little bit, sort of, I wasn't doing anything honest, but oddly seems to have sheepskin in a few pertinent locations.
All right. So, you've arrived on this horrific scene. What would you like to do?
I'd like to grab a piece of parchment and write warrant on it in hastily scratched out and show it to Due Diligence.
Perfect. You will go far. And Due's half tracks come down instead of the wheels, and he goes across the muddy field off to the body that's in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I'll follow along with Due Diligence and have a look.
He's also going in a direct line, regardless of what's between him and the body.
So, Karen, you watch as this robot man just his legs, his little wheels turn into tracks, and he just motors forward, and there's horrible crunches as he just drives over sheep. And there's bumps as you go, but he seems to be undeterred as he just motors forward.
I'm just stepping over every sheep corpse, oh, nope, oh, that's a bit of brains, oh, that's a bit of intestine, that's some shit there, oh. And it's tiptoeing through the.
Mm-hmm. Tiptoe around the corpses. The lesser-known Little Tim song. So, Chirpy and Rect, what are you two doing here?
Chirpy is going to look over at Rect with a sort of. I'm sure there isn't a page in the manual for this kind of look, and say, well, I don't know about you, but I think they were killed.
Yeah, he'll nod his head to you, and you see him begin to gather sticks and branches and begin to build a bonfire, because it's obvious that this is going to be a rule number 9 pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes, it's quite the slaughter. The lambs have been silenced.
Like lambs
So,
to be
would you
slaughtered.
like to roll me investigation checks, please, then, Kieran and Do, if you are inspecting this body?
Yeah.
That's a 15 for Do.
And a 24 from Kieran.
Okay, so, Do, as you motor your way towards this body, there is a lot of information to take in. So you are very preoccupied with taking in exact details of, like, you're almost like photographing everything. So you are, you're documenting everything you can. Kieran, as you approach this body, it's still warm.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you were saying?
No, go ahead. So what you like to do?
I poke it with the end of the blunt, like the hilt of my sword.
Okay. This corpse twitches.
I jump back in a gas and point the hilt at the twitching corpse in like a threatening manner.
As this happens, Chirpy and Rect, please roll me perception checks.
Uh, 12.
And I rolled a 14 plus 1, 15.
Sweet. Okay, Rect. So as you're gathering twigs, you see that seemingly stalking out of the shadows of the nearby woodland is a huge-looking, terrifying beast with red eyes, and it seems to be stalking towards Kieran and Do as they are looking at this body, and it's getting close.
I look at Chirpy and I say, is that from the department, or does that not look right? As I point to it.
That looks wrong.
Okay.
And he, as he says that, he's just mentally taking a step in behind Rex.
Okay.
I'll pull out the little packet that has the brand new, never before used whistle that's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a little card that says use in case of emergency. And so I read the card slowly and I pull it out slowly, and it's all kind of montaged together with it getting closer to them. And then I blow it very loudly.
Okay, so as you take your time to read this, and as the creature gets closer and closer, this thing is within like 5 feet of Kieran and Do as you finally do blow your whistle, and you're both distracted. You look up to where the sound of this whistle is coming from, and Kieran, out of the corner of your eye, you see a huge black muzzle with burning red eyes, just like here.
Could you take a step back? This is a crime scene and you've got really, really bad breath. I need you to...
We're keeping that one.
There is a deep roar that comes out of this creature, and it goes to lunge at you. Is there anything you would like to do?
I'd like to bap it on the snout with my longsword.
Okay, roll an attack.
18.
Okay, so as you sort of dodge and bap it on the nose with the flat of your sword, you watch as the muzzle sort of shifts down, and you see a hand, a human hand from somewhere beneath this dark, massive creature come up to readjust it very quickly. And it lifts up, and you see the face of a young human man go, "Dude, what the fuck, man? Come on! This costs so much money!" And you see in one hand, he's holding what appears to be a D&D phone. In a vertical, he films vertical, and he's filming you.
First off, like I said, this is a crime scene, and again, your breath really does smell. I'd recommend like some Listerine or something. Just take care of your breath. Why are you filming me? I mean, I'm going to need a copy of that video for documentation purposes.
As this happens, the corpse rolls over and starts to laugh. And you hear him go, "We got you, man, we got you." TPD's finest. Look at these fucking idiots. TPD.
First, I offer the one talking to Kieran a Tic Tac, and I shock and grasp the one on the ground because he's clearly undead.
Okay, so the one that's filming just goes, "Nah, fam, I ain't taking your sweets. I don't take sweets from strangers. What is this? You're the TPD. You're supposed to know better than this." Nah.
It's a breath mint?
As you reach down and shocking grasp the other one, please make an attack.
Okay.
With advantage? Because he's prone?
Yeah, with advantage.
Yeah. Oh, good. $19?
19. Okay, so you take you grab the wrist of the young man on the ground and just pulsate electricity through him, and you watch
9
as
lightning damage.
he screams, and the guy recording instantly turns to that and starts recording, going, yo, this is even better than I could have expected. Look at him, he's getting zapped. Yes.
As he's doing that,
We have undead. This place is not safe.
Chirpy is going to throw out a mage hand and try and grab the phone.
Okay, so we'll make this a contested check. We'll make it like a grapple. So go for athletics, and I'll see if you can grab the phone of this guy.
14.
14. Okay, so you summon out a magical hand that plucks the phone from this guy's hand as he's laughing and pointing. And as this is taken away, as the guys quickly realize that you guys mean business. He just puts up his hands. He drops the whole wolf costume. He goes, bro, it's just a prank, bro. A social experiment.
With that, I crash tackle him to the ground and start arresting him and bonding him up with my hempen rope.
Okay. I know, he's face down in the dirt. He's like, "I hope you're getting this on film. Police brutality. Oh, I'm going to get you all for this." And you recognize the man that Kieran has tackled as PTP from earlier on the captain's phone. He is a popular YouTube star.
Can I go over and get his autograph while he's being tied up?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, sure, bro, sure. Put a pen in my mouth. And he sort of goes,
yeah,
on a piece of paper.
Yeah, huge subscriber. Thanks.
I'd give you a bro fist, but I'm kind of, otherwise engaged.
You were on
Like I
the animal
second-
torturing videos.
No. That's not what I do.
I recognize
vlog.
you. There were animal torturing videos, animal abuse videos, and you were on them.
No.
You're
no,
under
no.
arrest for the abuse of animals.
I never did that. I vlog. I play
But-
illusion games. I stream on YouTube.
You should not
This is
stream
one
in
of the
public.
animal
That is
abusers?
also against the law.
I ask at due diligence if this is one of the animal abusers, and I stick the knee in a bit
Yes.
harder.
Yes, he was
Ah.
one of the ones I saw on the videos.
Come on, Matt. Come on. It's just a prank. Let me go, man. I didn't hurt anybody.
No, you are under arrest. There are dead animals. This is against the law. You are under arrest.
They were like that when I
Both
got
of
here,
you.
man.
Well, this one's not dead.
No, he's not. And the other guy's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm alive. I'm
Yes,
a
you were
human.
dead.
I'm a
You were
human.
dead,
I'm not
and
dead.
now
I'm
you
not-
are.
No.
Do you think undead say that they are not dead?
No, you bro
You're
there. You
under
bro
arrest.
the big man with the sword stabbed me, yo.
I pull
Let
out
my
the
blade.
manacles.
Yo.
I pull out the manacles and manacle him.
And so they are both tied and manacled. Are you taking them back to the station?
Oh yes.
I know, I'm going to put him face up. Go ahead.
So you can carry them. That's fine.
I lift one onto my shoulder and then drag the other one by the rope along the ground.
Okay. So you eventually bring these two back to the TPD and you throw them into the holding cells. The entire time they are protesting their innocence, saying it's just a social experiment, it's just a prank, they didn't do anything wrong. The sheep were like that when they got there. They just thought that, they'd do a funny thing. And one of them, PTP, is saying, is demanding that he speak to his father, because his father has all the best pixie lawyer hookups in Thailandia, and this will not stand. And you can actually at one point, as the captain has you all gathered, he says, so I noticed you arrested PTP and one of his production crew today.
They were at the scene of a crime, sir.
I see. And what crime was this?
Making false statements to the police.
I see.
And the slaughtering of lambs.
Yes, they
Did
brought
you
lambs to the
investigate
slaughter.
the lamb carcasses?
I
They were
believe they
dead.
were.
How were they dead?
Some were kebabs. Some were chops.
It seemed like they were killed by death.
I see. Thorough police work was done then, I see.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, it's quite unusual for you to not do your due diligence here in this regard. Usually, I get in-depth reports of any corpses found, including intricately detailed drawings of said corpses. Where are they for this one?
He's going to hold up a tread and let it spin.
I see.
Replay the.
I see.
Captain, this one is also, he is an undead. corpse.
He just turns and goes, son.
The labs haven't
you-
confirmed that yet.
Yeah, he says, son, are you undead? And the boy's like, no, man, no. I was just pretending to be dead. Look, one of your men stabbed me, which is police brutality, might I add. And PP was dragged here on his face, might I add. That's where he makes his money. You wait until Pete gets his daddy here, because
That face, that makes money.
Yes. Yeah, he's all over YouTube. Have you not seen him? He's like the star.
On the animal abuse videos.
And at this point, Captain Colt goes, no, he does not appear in the animal abuse videos as you put them. He does things elsewhere on that same site.
But he was there with all the slaughtered lambs.
He was, yes.
He's guilty.
Not necessarily, do. Now we do have, and he's walked you guys away from the cells at this point. We do have a very tricky situation here. You see, PGP's father is quite high up in Thailandia, and well, the reason why his boy is the way he is because he can make things disappear. Which means, unfortunately,
he's a magician. I do not have that ability yet.
Maybe one day, if you get powerful enough. But that does mean, unfortunately, we do have to let PT go.
But he's guilty.
Yeah,
He's certainly guilty of wasting police time, yes. But...
I'll run right down, sir. Salute.
Thank you,
Head
Rick.
down.
Now, Chief Dragonov is already going to roast me for him even getting brought to the station. So let's try to make this as smooth as possible and pray to God he does not release the footage of what you all did to him onto his YouTube channel, because that might be the nail in my coffin. You might have to order me a Hawaiian shirt.
That's probably okay, sir. Rick, I think we can return this to the young gentleman in question. I was trying to scroll back to see what they might have done before the incident, and there was this sort of waste paper thing that I seemingly touched, and it all went black.
Roll a deception check.
Having
He's
rolled a
hired
1 on the investigation check looking at it earlier.
Oh my god, this is great.
12.
12. Okay. The captain gives you an incredibly knowing look, but says, well, isn't that unfortunate? Please do give the young man his device back.
I can take it back.
All right.
If you want, Chirpy, I mean, I'm happy to use my time
Thank
and resources. Yep.
Okay. So,
Is this
cutting back
screen
down
black?
to this...
Is the screen still black on the phone?
Yes, it would be.
I believe I can fix this. And he's going to shock and grasp the phone.
Okay, so...
If in doubt, find a bigger hammer.
So, just before you're about to take it,
Just
Karen...
recharges it.
Dio grabs the device and just shocks it with electricity. There is a loud pop sound, and black smoke sort of just starts wafting out of it. It smells terrible.
I believe it is fixed now.
It is hot to the
down
touch.
I like bit of rag. You've done a really good job. Well done.
Yes.
It's fantastic. And I put it up against my face to like kind of try and use it. Yeah, I'll go take it down.
Okay, so we cut back down to the cells as Rect, you are opening the cell, letting PTP and his friend out, getting the paperwork for their release as Kieran joins you.
As I walked, it's down the stairs, yeah?
Yeah.
On the way down, like on the last couple of stairs, I'd like to miss a step, and then like this like collapse to the floor, putting my hands out first, and just fall.
Okay. So, Rex, as you're just signing off on this last piece of paperwork, you hear this almighty thud, and you look over to the bottom of the stairs and see Kieran splayed out on the floor.
I look at him and then... Oh, go ahead.
I'll just pick myself up slowly.
I kind of look over at our prisoners and I'm like, this is the craziest first day ever, but you're like my first person to bring to jail, first person to release. This is like a day of firsts. This is so great. I hope you enjoyed your stay.
PTP goes, anything for a fan man, and he offers you like a fist.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'll do the fist. I'm like, I can't wait to like on this video. It's gonna be so good.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be such a video. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Kieran on the ground.
I pick myself up, dust myself off, and I walk over to him, and I hand him what I'm assuming is just like a splintered and broken phone.
Yeah, this thing is just... It's just disastrous. It's your typical iPhone after a week of having it, and you've dropped it, and it's just exploded. Yeah. And he just kind of looks at it. Bro.
I'm sorry, it's very dark in here, and I can't really see well in the dark.
Bro.
Are we brothers? I mean, I've got a big family. I wasn't really quite sure. I should look you up.
No, don't.
Kieran Duskraven out of the south side. It's fantastic down there. You should come by and meet the family. It's great.
He just kind of goes, I'll get a new one off my sponsors. And just kind of throws it in the bin. He says, it's all backed up online anyway. So, I'm out of here. Eat shit, losers. I'll roast you online. And he's out of the door. We're going to have a little time skip. A week later, PTP's video has hit YouTube. It is a scathing recount of what happened in that field. It shows all the prep up to the social experiment, as it were. It shows the detailed costuming that he went into to make the wolf. It shows the footage of his friend being stabbed by an officer on the ground. It shows the tasing. And he talks about how his phone was fried and then dropped by the TPD, and how he was locked up, and how it was just an all-around terrible experience. And you guys are sat in the stable, which is what we call the bullpen of the detective portion of the TPD. And you are all sat there as not 10 minutes before, Chief Dragonov, in her human form, as you know, Chief Dragonov is actually a dragon, stormed straight in, didn't even regard you all, straight into the captain's office, slammed the door, and you have just heard her shouting at him for the past 10 minutes about you lot. Is there anything you would like to do while the captain is getting chewed out?
I just want to look over the bullpen at my comrades and say, I think it went really, really well.
Stu is making fresh coffee.
I have a very enamored look on my face as the person that I know of as a true dragon has walked by, and somebody who I have admired for many, many years, and is the reason I decided to join this August group, and am in shock at the moment that was able to just be in the same room as that person.
And actually, Rect, in this same video, there was actually a really cool segment about a fan who was at the TPD, who was the nicest one there, that was really helpful, and you know that was you. So you've kind of got that whole, like...
Yeah. Like the whole week I've been in the comments section just talking to all kinds of people, nonstop, all the fans.
Chirpy's just going to cast disguise on himself as Big Bob.
Okay. What, as Officer Bob?
Yeah.
Okay. And at a certain point, Officer Bob walks in and he holds a tray of donuts. And as he sees you, he drops it and goes, "No again!"
It is not me. I'm over here, Constable Bob. Although this does give me an idea. And he pulls out his disguise kit and he starts disguising himself as Finbar.
Okay. Roll me a check for that.
Okay. Dexterity?
Yeah. Let's see how well you
Oh my
appear to be
God.
Finbar.
Let's
No. No. Ooh.
14?
14, okay, you do a pretty alright job. I mean, there is unfortunately no disguising the fact that you are a metallic egg and not a slender half-elf bard. But the hair is real good. I totally don't have makeup on. Makeup that Finbar wears is there. You know, you've got a pair of absolute heresy underwear on. Make sure the band is visible so everybody knows, you know.
The liner is perfect and sharp.
The wings are the sharpest wings that have ever been placed on a Warforged ever. You've done a much better job than the makeup artist did at the Blind Date studio, let's put it that way.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Officer Bob just slowly backs out of the office, distraught at this happening again. 2 Bobs again. And you hear him just walk down the corridor, go, "Addison, am I me? Or have I been cloned again?" As he disappears.
Has he left the donuts?
Yes, the donuts are still all over the floor.
Oh, are those Granddad's special glaze?
They are indeed Granddad's special glaze.
You will like these. I do not eat food, but you will like these.
I'll take one and shove it in my mouth.
Surprisingly salty and lumpy.
And spits it out.
It is not Boston cream.
Sure,
No, it's not that great. It's a bit lumpy. Don't mind the salt though.
All right, and after that, the captain, the chief, back out of her office, and she says, "If I see any of your faces on YouTube ever again, I will personally remove you from this earth. Do I make myself clear?"
So
Well, I
this is
can't
probably a
stop my
bad
fans
time
from
to
posting.
Yes, Mom.
Sorry, like all of you spoke at exactly the same time then. So we got a yes, Mom, and Officer Bob's voice from Chirpy Kieran.
This is probably a bad time to promote that I'm gonna stop the YouTube channel.
No, you are not. You
Okay.
are not. In fact, effective immediately, no officer of the TPD shall ever have a YouTube account to post videos, to comment, to exist on that site. Do I make myself clear?
Excuse me, Captain. I think you're going to have to speak with whatever the name of the lady is that has the magazine.
Milene?
He'd do his Molly. No, the
Oh, Mallory.
Mallory. Mallory said it's part of the campaign that I'm doing with her, that I have a YouTube channel.
I will speak to Marilee Eversent. Don't you worry.
Well, I'm seeing her tonight, you know.
Oh, lucky for you. Now, if any of you chuckle fucks embarrass the TPD like you did last week, again, you're all fired. And I mean that literally. And there's a flash of like red scale that appear around her eyes as she said this, and her eyes sort of turn into like very draconic, like a deep orange with black sort of, you know, cat's eye pupil.
Does that
Are
fall
we
under
clear?
boom or bloom?
She walks over. As you're sat at your desk, she leans over to where she's like an inch away from your face. it means a horrific fiery death for you. Understood?
Yeah.
Good.
When in doubt, burn it out.
The flowers
Before
comes
bloom.
afterwards at the funeral.
She just puts a hand up in the air and leaves. And the captain comes out and he looks pale. That is the most terrifying woman I've ever met in my life.
I do a slow clap and just like, amazing. Just amazing.
Your coffee, sir.
Thank you, Bob. Bob, what are you doing here?
I'm back.
I brought you your coffee.
Roll a deception check for your Bob impression.
It's much better than dudes.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Just say what that number is for the class.
Yep, that's not 20, so 24.
Captain Colt is completely convinced that this is indeed Officer Bob here with him. He takes the coffee and you see his hands are shaking as he takes the mug and he spills a little bit.
We have some of
Bob,
Granddad's donuts.
No, thank you. I am not interested in Granddad's secret sauce today.
It's a glaze.
Bob, it's something. Bob, I need you to go and do whatever it is that you were doing before you were here. Yes. And he just goes back to his office.
As you say, sir. Then he'll waddle off. Or at least waddle off to just outside the door where he can keep a rough ear out on the earwigging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, as the captain has retreated to his office, you hear him drinking his coffee, and then there's the unmistakable sound of a large bottle being retrieved from somewhere, hitting a desk. You hear a cork, and you hear glug, 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 as his coffee now becomes mostly spirits. You hear that go back in. But as this is happening, each one of your personal stones of fast speech, the personal department-issued phones, begins to ring.
Quack! G'day.
The immediate response is, "Help! Help! There's a wolf! There's a wolf on the outskirts of town! Help me! Help me! Help!" And you hear, this is PTP, and he sounds terrified.
I hang up.
Everybody's phones are ringing.
Oh yeah, I will answer my phone.
You hear the same, please, Rect, come on. I know you're a big fan. Please come help me. Please, man. Please, you gotta come help me.
Where are you?
Here. I'm back near where we were last time, where I met you, and it was really cool, and we had that really good prank. I'm there.
Okay, I'm on my way, and I'm like, is this gonna be another good prank?
No, man, this time it's real, man. No, man, you gotta come quick.
Okay.
There's a big thing.
I will tell everybody. And I hang up the phone seriously. We must go.
Go
It
where?
is our duty, although we also need to make sure that we've restocked the coffee on the way.
It's
We
not
must do
very
our due
urgent. I think
diligence.
we should keep going. We should start moving. The captain,
Should we tell the captain first?
the talk we had, not messing up anymore.
Great.
I'm dressed as Finbar. I'm disguised as Finbar. So dude is like, okay, because he knows that he's not going to be him next time on the, yeah.
There's
Okay.
a wolf. There's danger. Let's go.
We should call
The
him
last
back
time it was
then.
wolves, it was 7 dwarves.
Are you telling the captain?
I will open the door and say, apparently there's a wolf on the outskirts of town. PDP is there, apparently. It's a whole thing. Should we go?
To cover our asses, yes, but fuck that guy. Just make it quick. Don't arrest him this time. Just give him a caution or something.
Okay.
Is that
Gotcha,
anatomically possible?
Is what, sorry?
Is that anatomically possible?
God damn it.
Well, Finbar, probably.
True. Yes, I am
find a way.
Finbar. Yes, I will do this. I will
Oh,
take
God.
care of that, Captain.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And now, as you make your way downstairs to the main entrance, you can see now that basically every sort of phone in this place is ringing, and there are reports coming in of a terrible beast on the outskirts of town, of this great terrifying wolf. And you see that, like, on the fantasy TVs, there's a breaking news, and it's showing footage of PTP's great prank that he pulled on you folks at the TPD. But you race back towards the paddock where the previous incident had occurred, and you see something horrifying in front of you. You see a huge beast. It's somewhere between a man, a wolf, a great ape. It's got long, terrifying fur that seems to just sort of waft as though it was underwater. Its face is a horrific mix between a wolf and a ram's skull, and there's just giant, awful teeth. One huge arm that is massive and muscular with long claws, and a smaller, withered arm behind it. And you watch as you see at the base of this thing, PTP with his phone recording himself, and he's taking selfies with this thing. He's like poking it, throwing stones at it, like, yo bro, watch out, look at this thing, oh my god, no, you know, doing YouTuber things. I don't know what they do. I don't watch them.
He does not appear to be in imminent danger.
You watch as this thing gets closer and closer to him, and there's a moment where PTP has that terrible, horrific moment of realization as this beast, the massive arm of it just scoops PTP up in its huge paw. And you hear, carried on the wind, him screaming, "It's just a prank, bro!" as this beast shoves PTP into his mouth. And you hear the crunch of his bones, and you see the explosion of his blood as it just out the front of this beast. As it now fixes its glare upon you all. And I would like you to roll initiative, please.
It was part of the deal after that we have to have video evidence, like they put the cameras in the cop cars. Due diligence now has a camera.
You're all aware due diligence is the personal body cam.
Yes.
19.
Okay, so 1 second, and I will do my thingy-majig that I do. That is, okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a 25 to 20? Okay. 20 to 15?
19.
19. What is your dexterity modifier?
+4, I believe.
+4?
Dex, where are you gone? Oh, sorry, +3.
+3. Okay, we need to roll again.
Oh,
And this is just a straight d20.
okay. 13.
Okay, so... do we have 15 and between 15 and 10?
Rect had an 18 total.
Oh,
for
Rect had an
initiative.
18. Sorry about that. Okay.
14 for due.
14 for Dew. And Will, where's Kieran on the initiative?
4.
It's almost like I predicted that, huh?
It's not. It's not 0 technically.
It's not technically a 0, but it is last. So, At the top of the round, this beast screams in your direction, and it's not a like a roar. It is almost like a man's scream, but pitched up and down at the same time. It is unsettling. It rattles you all to your core, and I would like you all to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no. Oh no. Ooh! Oh god, that's a lot better.
Okay, so Kieran?
An unnatural 19.
Okay.
So natural 20 minus 1.
Yep. And 19.
13, 19.
Wrecked.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. Cheppy?
A superb 1.
Oh, very impressive one. And Do?
An 11.
Okay. So, everybody except Kieran, you are now frightened of this creature until your next turn. You cannot willingly move towards it, and any offensive actions you take against this creature will be at disadvantage until the end of your next turn. However, Kieran, you are now immune from this roar effect as you succeeded the saving throw.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay. This will bring us to Chirpy.
Chirpy, having seen the better of things, is merely going to prestidigitate himself into his brown pants and red shirt.
Excellent. Wrecked, you're up.
I would begin to cast a spell, and then a field of electricity and lightning kind of flows around his body in a form of mage armor, is what I should cast. And then I will hide behind the wagon we brought, or the horses we rode, or any piece of cover that might be within 30-ish feet.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a typical, like, sort of fantasy-esque sort of field woodland, so there's plenty of stuff to duck behind. You can duck behind the horses and the wagon. There's always, like, a big stone in the middle of the field, even though that's terrible for a field. You can hide behind the big stone, you know? So you duck, Do.
Do will address the wolf in Dwarvish.
Mm-hmm.
You are under arrest. This will not work a second time. And he's going to bypass rule number 7 and go straight to rule number 9, which is when in doubt, and cast Fireball.
Oh, okay. So that is a dexterity save.
Yes,
for
DC
the
15.
creature. DC 15. That is a pass, unfortunately. So he still takes half damage.
Oh, it's 8d6, isn't it? Okay. That's 25 fire.
25 fire. So that's in total. So half for the successful save.
You're under arrest for the death of PP. We have it on film. Surrender now. And again, this is all in Dwarvish.
In Dwarvish, okay. As you say this, Do, it doesn't appear to acknowledge or recognize that you are speaking to it.
Okay.
It is going to stride forwards and will make its attacks at the person up front, which I probably assume is Kieran, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to make 3 attacks at you, 2 being a claw and 1 being a grab attack. So, does a 14 hit?
It does not.
Okay, that's another 14. And for the grab, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
5.
5. Okay. You are distracted by these claws coming in that you miss the fact that this third one is not coming in for a strike, and it's going deeper than you expected, and you are scooped up into the massive claws of this creature. Chirpy and Rex, you watch as Kieran is just absolutely whisked off his feet and just completely almost disappears beneath the gigantic hand of this creature, and it's holding you up, Kieran, and eyeing you as if it's like, food. Okay. That will be its turn. Which will bring us to Chirpy. You are no longer frightened.
Oh, goody. Then Chirpy will quickly cast Dissonant Whispers at 3rd level towards it. So, Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Oh, this thing is not very wise. It is a fail.
So that is 14 psychic. And
Nice.
it must retreat as fast as possible, but doesn't say anything about dropping everything. Whoops. Oh, well.
So, Kieran, you're in this thing's hands. You see its face up close, and this thing's horrific. There's far too many teeth here. There's weird horns coming out the top of its head. Its mouth goes all the way back. Like, it's bad to look at, but you watch as you hear Chirpy say something. It reacts, and it kind of looks horrified and confused for a moment as you're sort of dangling there in midair, and it seems to recoil from this as if something hurt it. Rex, you are up. You are also no longer frightened.
Awesome. Would I happen to be within 30 feet of where Kieran and the creature are? Or sure, perfect. I begin to wave my hands once again and begin to chant in very loud booming noises, and a very bright flash of lightning from the sky streaks down, and it just blinds the creature. So I'm casting blindness on it.
Ooh.
So it will need to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 15, and if it fails, it gets blinded for 1 minute.
Cool.
And it can make that save at the end of its turn.
Sweet. Well, I rolled a 4, so the creature is blinded.
Nice.
And you know this happened as you see sort of the arm that's holding Kieran above its mouth starts to waver a bit if it's not entirely sure where its mouth is anymore, and it seems to be looking around blankly trying to find its other withered arm is kind of gesturing around to be like, where am I? What's happening? And you hear it making very distressed sort of sounds. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I would like to stay near my cover again, and then maybe look towards due diligence and think, does he got this? Or is somebody going to go up and help Kieran? And that's all I'll do.
Okay. So that will in fact bring us to Do.
Due diligence is going to make sure that he's at least 90 feet from this thing. And then he's going to cast Chill Touch.
Ooh.
And the skeletal hand will come up, tap the creature on the shoulder, drop the police officer. You are under arrest. And is this made an advantage because he's blind? Because it's a ranged spell attack.
I believe so. Yeah, attacks upon a blinded creature have advantage.
All right. So that's going to be a 22 to hit?
22 will hit. Yes.
All right. And I believe it is, 2d8 necrotic.
Get it.
Only 8 necrotic, but it cannot regain hit points until the start of my next turn. And until then, the hand is clinging to it. It's kind of grasping it by the nape of the neck as if it was trying to take it into custody.
It's like a cat, a cat picking up a kitten. But,
Well, like you grab somebody by the scruff of the neck, to drag them off. Yeah. That's the way it's holding onto them.
Okay, so, which will bring us to Kieran's turn. Now, Kieran, in this creature's hand, you are currently restrained, so you can't move, but you can still attack. The attack is with disadvantage, however, because you are restrained by this creature's big claws. Or, if you would like, you could use your action to attempt to break the grapple.
I have a quick question for you. Is it a bonus action to skull down a potion? Or is it a main action?
It's a bonus. If you're drinking it yourself, bonus. If you're feeding it to someone, that's an action.
If that's the case, then I'd like to somehow wiggle and grab my fiery red potion that's in my pocket and chug it down, and then try and hulk out of this thing.
Okay.
So I'll drink my potion of fire giant strength.
Yeah, 1 second. I forgot that you do take some damage whilst you are being grappled by this creature like this. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you are trapped. Yeah, as it squeezes.
Okay, yep, cool.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to break the grapple?
Yeah, so with the potion of fire giant strength, my strength score becomes 25 for an hour. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So roll me a strength athletics check then.
Okay, so 11. Only an 18.
It is, however, sufficient, and you manage to wiggle your arms up so they're next to you, and with the strength of fire giants, you just yell as you push apart and escape this creature's grapple. You are being held up in the air, however, so you will take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you land on the ground.
'Tis but a scratch. And I'll action surge and start hitting this thing in the face with my long sword.
Nice. Do it.
So, plus... So the first attack is a 13.
Doesn't hit.
Damn it. 15?
Doesn't hit.
Cool. That's me. I've done. Sweet.
Okay. This beast is it's got too much poise, man. You can't break that armor, so you bunk off it twice as you hit its massive right leg, but it doesn't seem to do anything. You're not quite connecting there, which will bring us back to the top of the round, to the beast, who is blind, but it is aware of Kieran being down there somewhere, so it's going to try and hit you, but it is blind, so it has disadvantage. So let's go. It's going to try and hit you twice. Nope. Nope. So this is quite a funny scene as Kieran is, thwacking away with his sword and not connecting. The beast attempts to respond in kind, thwacks away, completely misses Kieran. They're both just like a foot away from each other, just off slightly, missing each other as they're trying to hit him. The beast will just sort of roar in frustration, but he does get to make another wisdom save, right? For the blindness.
At the end of each of his turns. Yep, everyone.
Nope, it's still blind. Okay, this will bring us to Chirpy.
Officer Bob.
Little indeed. How I don't know. Yes. Chirpy will, first of all, bonus action, Bardic Inspiration, 1d8 for Karen.
Kieran,
And
for me.
Karen, yeah.
Yep.
And then he'll just second level Dissonant Whisper.
All right. Nope. Failed that save. I need to rotate my dice out. These are cursed. I say this every week.
Oh,
Woo!
that's another 14.
Okay.
Once again, a retreat action.
Okay. So are you going to take a hint out of Rex's book and hide somewhere?
No. It has to do a move away.
Oh, it does, yes. So it moves backwards, sort of stumbling backwards in its blindness. It's reeling from this attack and moves away from you all. So, Rex, you're up next.
All right. So seeing Kieran kind of use his weapons, but from my vantage point, it looked like he may not have hit. So I wasn't too sure about that. So I really want to help him out. And I begin to cast once again. And now blue lightning energy crackles all along the body and the arms and the weapons of Kieran. And I cast Enlarge on him. So he grows to double the size. His weapon is double the size. He's now, his weight is multiplied by 8. And this will last for a minute. He's got advantage on strength checks, advantage on strength saving throws, and you get an extra 1d4 damage while swinging your now giant-sized weapons.
Wait, so I now weigh 1,200 pounds.
Sure.
What a big boy!
You're now also
More
large and no longer medium, so you're considered large at this point. And I'm like, go get him. Rest him.
All right, so that will bring us to Do.
Do as Finbar is realizing that he's out in the open, which Finbar would never be, and then shrugs the non-existent shoulders. Having just watched Kieran Hulk out, literally. Did he turn green? Wonder if he turned green.
As a side effect.
As a tinge of
As a
green,
side effect,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, okay. Excellent. And then what looks like a grenade launcher comes up and out of Due Diligence's shoulder, and he casts Magic Missile at 2nd level.
There it is. Let's go.
There it is. Uh, 16 force damage.
16 force damage. Dang. Okay. So, Karen, just skimming past your newly enlarged head, these bolts of force energy just pelt into this creature that is blind, that is backing up in fear.
Yeah, all you hear is pew, 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 out of the big grenade launcher.
Yeah,
this is
it does
great.
make a pew. Which will now actually bring us to Karen. So as these bolts whiz past your head, what would you like to do?
He's blinded, so yeah.
Yes, he's
When
still
I attack
blind.
him, does that have advantage against him if I try and hit him, or
I believe so, yes.
coolio? Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing again. Try and hit this big boy.
Mm-hmm. Get him.
That'll be a 25.
That'll hit.
Do you want me to roll attacks first or damage first?
Roll your attacks first.
Okay.
Wait, that was a nat. Is that a nat 20? No. Okay, never mind.
No.
And I'll take the 24 to hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those
Sure.
both hit.
Yeah.
So roll your damage.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
So
Give him a bunch of
first
extra dice to
is-
roll.
Oh, what are you doing? So the first attack does 16 points of slashing damage.
Okay, 16 on the first.
Yeah.
Yep.
The second one does 19 points of slashing damage.
19 on the next one. Damn. So these connect. You rush up to this creature and you just unleash fury in your newly enlarged state. You aren't swinging for his kneecaps at this point. You know, you're aiming much higher on this creature as you can reach. And as you lash across its chest with the sword, you leave these big dark gouts of like a black sort of ichor goo that's coming out of it instead of blood, which will bring us to the beast's turn. And it is mad. It it knows it's just had the crap kicked out of it, so it's going to, what it does, it backs up, and so you will get an attack of opportunity for this, Kieran, but it backs up. And you see it run, and it plants its large arm in the ground and sort of pole vaults over you to, let me just roll to see how far it gets. On top of the wagon and the horses you brought, and they fall apart with a horrific crash as the wagon is completely crushed. One of the horses just goes, ah, and, you know, it's completely crushed underneath this giant beast. And it's going to swing for whoever is near the wagon, which unfortunately will be wrecked. So it's going to try to hit you wrecked, but it is still blind. So it does have disadvantage. Yes, you would, yes. So we'll do your attack of opportunity first.
So I get a 20 on that.
Mm-hmm, that hits.
Just a flat 20.
Yep.
And then say in the goddamn box. And a D4.
Oh, it is.
For 13 points of slashing damage.
13, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. So as this thing jumps over your head, Kieran, you manage to stick up your sword and just sort of jam it into the creature as it does. It may or may not have helped the creature get to exactly where it did. You might have killed its momentum. You'll never know. However, does a 17 hit you wrecked?
It does. So AC 16.
Okay, so that first claw hits. We'll see about the second. That is not going to hit with a 10. So you are hit with one claw, and that does.
But
yes.
I could burn my shield reaction spell, which gives me +5, which then he would have to roll a 21 to hit me.
Which he hasn't done. So if you do want to do that, it won't hit
I'm
you.
doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the big claw hits this energy shield around me, but go ahead.
Still, you just boom, there's a big rebound of energy as this huge claw comes down to hit you. And now it's going to attempt to roll away the blindness. Natural 20. The creature is unblinded. And you see it now as behind the front lines, it has got behind your big strong boy. This creature eyes you all hungrily, looking for its next target. Chirpy, you are up.
Chirpy is indeed up, and he's holding up a succession of marker boards with 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 vicious mockery.
Okay.
For 6 points. And the save, of course.
That is a failed save, so that's 6 points of damage.
I'm not sure what's more vicious, Kieran's sword or bloody Chirpy's words.
Right? Chirpy's
Yeah.
good at this. Chirpy likes to just sit there on the sidelines and just like be mean to do his damage. It worked quite well against the green dragon last time he was here.
Chirpy spits thunder.
Chirpy spits hot fire. So is there anything else you'd like to do in your turn, Chirpy?
No, that's it.
Okie doke. Which will bring us to Wrecked. This thing is here.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
nearly
So
got
big,
you.
giant eyes, panic sets in, and in panic, a 100-foot, 5 feet wide column of lightning bolt, true lightning bolt, flares out straight into it and then whatever is beyond it. Trees, woods, whatever happens to be in the way. Other stuff, I don't know.
Lamb
city.
kebab.
Yeah. So it gets a dexterity saving throw to have the damage at a DC
Okay.
15.
Let's have a look. That is a 9, so that is a fail.
All right, so now I get to roll 8d6.
Ooh.
If I can. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I did this right. Here we go. We're rolling 24 lightning damage into the chest of said creature
Okay, so
from pure panic.
in your panic, you cast this spell, and this huge wall of electricity just launches at this creature and beyond. And somewhere in the woods behind you hear a caw as it zaps a bird, and you smell, drafting on the wind, the smell of chicken.
It's chicken. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I yell for my companions to assist me as I feel like I'm in trouble.
Okay. Rect is calling for help. Chicken is in the air. What would you like to do?
This time it's a hose. He's going to scooch a little bit closer until he's within range, and the nozzle scope pulls back, and he shoots grease. So this thick, black, dirty oil just kind of hits the creature and then kind of into the fur and trickles down. There's a little puddle down around its feet. And he's going to make sure that it stays away from Wrecked, that it'll just hit. Yeah.
Okay, so that is a dex save, I believe, right?
Not unless he
Or is
tries
it
to
just
move.
happen?
Oh, no, it does. When it appears, he has to make a dex saving throw or fall prone.
Let's see how he does. That is a 22, so he stays on his feet.
Right. And any creature that enters the area or ends its turn there has to repeat the. So yeah, it's in a. There's like a 10-foot square centered on his knee.
Yeah. Well, he's like
grease.
a huge creature, so that will more than saw him. Yeah. Okay.
A dude looks at Wrecked and goes, "I have you."
Eyes are really big. He's not sure he believes you.
You're a bit perplexed that Doo's idea of helping is to just sort of coat this thing in lubricant. You're not sure that that's super helpful. But nonetheless, it is Kieran's turn. This creature has jumped away from you. It is now focusing down on your squishy party members. It's covered in this weird black ooze.
I'd like to walk up behind it, take one of the bottles out of my pouch, light it on fire, and I'm going to throw alchemist fire at the grease creature.
Nice. So roll me an attack.
Do I get proficiency with this?
Yeah, I'll let you. And you can use your strength for it too.
Yeah. Darn. Oh, 24.
24, yeah, that'll do it.
So I don't know what you want to do for damage-wise on this, but with
I
Alchemist
think
Fire-
Alchemist Fire actually has stats of what it does. Somewhere.
Uh,
Be told while I frantically Google.
Yes, I'm flicking through books.
Okay, so on a hit, the target takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turn. So roll me 1d4.
2.
2. Okay, you watch as this thing goes up in flames. It's very, very quickly consumed by a lot of fire, as the grease that Dew had launched at this creature now ignites along with the alchemist fire. And with the screams you hear coming from this beast, you get the idea that perhaps this is doing a bit more damage than you might have anticipated. All right, so this creature's on fire. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Action.
All right.
That's my action, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okie doke. Which will bring us back to the beast. Now it's the start of its turn, so it takes 1d4 fire damage.
And makes a dex
yep.
save.
And makes a dex save.
Takes 3 points of fire damage.
Okay. And it fails the dex save, so it not only is it on fire, it eats shit and is on the ground. So now it will pull itself up from the ground. It is no longer blinded. Kieran, you are the biggest target. And so it will hit you. It's going to attempt to claw you and to grab you again. And seeing as how it's on fire, that might be bad for you, being in that claw. So we have
a grease fire claw.
Oh, a grease fire too, not just a normal fire. That is a 21 to hit on a claw.
Oh yeah, that hits. Yep.
The next one is a 25 to hit on a claw.
Yeah.
And the grab is a... oh no, you need to make a dex save for the grab.
Okay. Come on, big boy. 5.
5. You are once again encircled by the big meaty hand of this beast. But before that happens, you will take... 15 slashing damage on the first claw attack. And the second claw attack is 9 slashing damage. So 24 slashing damage in total from the claws. You are once more restrained in this creature's hand. And you yourself will begin to take fire damage if you do not extricate yourself from this grease fire soon. So that was the beast's turn, which will bring us back to Chirpy.
Chirpy is going to cast a 3rd level healing word at Kieran. Because he seems like he could do with it. And yes, tut in his always burning his meat, but of course doesn't do anything because don't have the action for that. So get better 11.
Oh yay! Thank you.
Okay, so that will bring us to Rect. This beast has turned its attention away from you. It has a large human drumstick in one hand. What would you like to do?
I will look and turn towards due diligence and then run that direction using my disengage action. As it's occupied at the moment, I try to sneak away and go stand next to or behind our Warforged wizard and get to a more strategic advantage point for further action. And I say to due diligence, the creature seems to be resisting arrest.
Yes, it does. We will kill it.
That is my turn.
Okay, so Dew, you're up next.
Well, due diligence sees the dragonborn running towards it, and he's used to Sooty doing this. So he starts to open the panel then realizes that the dragonborn is much, much larger than Sooty. It is not going to fit no matter how much he takes out of the interior. Even the file cabinet is just not going to fit. So he closes the panel. He turns around and he says, yes, we will take care of this. And he is going to cast Create Bonfire on the creature's knees.
On the creature's knees?
Yeah, where the grease hit it.
Yep, okie doke. So remind me again for Create Bonfire?
Let me... 5-foot cube must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 2d8 fire damage.
Dex save. Let's have a
Yep.
look. That is a 13.
That is a fail.
Oh.
So that's 11 fire damage.
11 fire damage. Nice. Okay.
And it's on fire.
It's doubly on fire now. If there was a bit of this thing that wasn't on fire, it's on fire now, as this whole thing is just completely consumed. The smell of burning fur is in the air. It is not a pleasant smell.
And he's going to say, it is a Finbar move. You must always lube. And that will become rule number 10.
I mean, okay. So, Kieran, at the start of your turn, you are going to take some bludgeoning damage. Fire not yet. You have 1 turn's grace before you're on fire. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as this creature in agony is crushing you in its claw.
Ouch. Ow. Okay. I'm going to expend my second wind here because this is a bad time.
All right.
Remember, you're large and 1,800 pounds, too.
Yeah.
1,800. Damn. Big boy.
I'm the Chungus.
The Chungus. Oh. All right. So you have some health.
I'm playing to the character. He's not going to try and get free. He's got this bastard where he wants him. He's going to hit him in the face with his sword.
Okay. As you're restrained, this will be made at disadvantage.
Yeah.
But you do have like 9 million modifiers on you right now, so you should be able to do this.
Still a natural one.
And yet.
The grease got in the way.
Slippy, man. Okay. So, Kieran, you are... Anything else you'd like to do? Any final words?
Second attack.
Those are great final words.
16.
Hits.
Oh. Okay. Ooh. 17 points of slashing damage.
Ooh. Okay. Nice. So, despite being crushed, despite the flames licking at your face, you managed to deliver a blow to this creature. By this point, it's looking pretty rough. I mean, no, well, not pretty rough. It's getting too rough. It's under-bloodied at this point. So, which will bring us back to the beast's turn. And it is going to take some fire damage. So roll that d4. And it needs to make a save.
It actually needs to make 2 dex saves. 1 for the grease, 1 for the fire.
So, was that 4 points of fire damage from the alchemist fire?
4 points. From me, yep.
Okay. So that's that. Okay, and it needs to make 2 saves for the grease and the bonfire. That is a 19 and a natural 20. So it doesn't fall
Okay.
over, doesn't take the
And-
bonfire. Or is it half bonfire damage?
Pull it. It just if it makes it, then yeah, it doesn't take the fire damage.
Okay.
So he doesn't take any extra fire damage this time.
Okie doke. But
He
it
is
is
on
going.
fire.
He is on fire still, and the fire is still raging on this creature. It's still the grease is doing its job beautifully. It is going to use use Kieran in its claw as a club, and is going to strike at Chirpy. So there will be 2 attacks at Chirpy. That is a 22 to hit, 1 claw.
I'll take that.
Yep. And the other one is a 14 to hit.
That one I'll cut.
Okay.
So, real quick, where is it? There we go. So the 14 becomes an 11.
Okay, so I'm assuming the 11 doesn't hit.
The 11 doesn't hit, no.
Okay.
The 21 does by significant.
Okay, so you will take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you hear Kieran go, "Ah!" as he's being used as a club to hit you, Chirpy, by this creature.
11 points of bludgeoning.
11 points of Kieran damage.
Love
Okay.
damage. Love damage.
Love damage. Okay, which will now be your turn, Chirpy. This beast is up in your face. It's got Chirpy in one. It's got Kieran in one hand.
Well, that's good. It plays straight into my cunning plan.
Mm-hmm.
In as much as I wanted to touch Kieran anyhow, so that I can bonus action healing word him again.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the meanwhile, I can do that at sight. But more importantly, I wanted to cast is it first level, second level? Second level Bear's Endurance, so he'll get an extra 2d6 temporary hit points for the next hour on top of the healing.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
So the healing word is 2d4 plus 4. The healing word is 9. And 6 extra hit points.
Nice.
Damn, son.
So, Kieran lives to fight another day, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Chirpy?
Since I'm now in melee, I'm going to stay inside range, not to provoke the attack of opportunity.
Okie dokie, no worries. Which will bring us to Wrecked.
All right, so plan still hasn't gone down yet. I'm thinking maybe I should shift my tactics. So I drop concentration on enlarge, so we see Kieran return to normal size, and the blue electricity that was around him at all times is gone. I begin to cast again, and now the blue electricity wraps itself around the creature, but this time it begins to try to reduce its size instead of enlarging, so it's the opposite. It does get a Constitution saving throw because I assume it's going to resist that effect,
Yes.
so it's a Con 15 saving throw.
It fails the save.
So it is halved in all dimensions. Its weight is reduced by 1/8 of the normal, and it goes down a size category. So if it was large before, it becomes medium. If it was medium, it becomes small. Until the spell ends, the target has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and all damage is minus 1d4.
Ooh.
So really the opposite of what we did for Kieran. And so blue electricity rages around it as I maintain concentration to shrink it.
Okay. Kieran, this, as you feel yourself grow smaller in this creature's claw, there's a moment where you're not sure if that actually did happen, because you seem to be back to the same sort of proportions, but from the outside you can tell that this creature has shrunk. So you're kind of both at the same status quo as you were, but just things have kind of reversed.
So,
you're still in its hand because it was a huge creature down to large, and you went from large to medium.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be fun.
So you're still in there.
Still hanging in there. Let's do this.
You're not quite as high up as you were. You've gone down a couple of feet.
It's good because I'm afraid of heights.
I'm afraid of falling is really what it is, but yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Rect?
That is it. Still looking to the senior officer on site to really take control of this situation that seems to be out of hand at the moment.
Okay, well, senior officer, what are you doing? You're up.
Well, he's rather disappointed that it's still holding on to Kiernan, and that Kiernan isn't a gnome at the moment. So he's going to go ahead and cast Magic Missile at 2nd level again.
Okie doke. So the grenade launcher pops up out of the shoulder.
And that's 14 force damage.
14 force damage.
He's going to back up a little bit more. He wants to make sure that there's a good 60 to 90 feet between him and the creature.
So, Rect, as you are sort of sheltering behind your senior officer, you kind of are a bit perturbed to find them wheel away back behind you even further. They seem to be retreating maybe from the scene.
And out of Dew's speaker, Officer Kiernan, we will find you a very nice Hawaiian shirt.
As you hear this, knowing your fellow officers have given up on you, what are you gonna do?
Stab him in the eye.
Oh, wait. You are still in his claw, so you will take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, but you will also take 1 point of fire damage.
Bonfire. Alright, let's do this.
So you have disadvantage because you're still within his claw.
Yep. That is a scene again.
Hits.
Okay. I'll roll the attacks. Give me a sec.
Yeah, no worries.
Disadvantage. Does a 15 hit?
It does not, unfortunately.
Is it too late to use that bardic inspiration that Chirpy gave me?
It lasts for like 10 minutes, and it definitely hasn't been 10 minutes yet.
16.
Yeah, you got it. So both attacks land.
Okay, so the first attack is 12 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
And the second one is 14 points of slashing damage.
Nice. Okay, so you managed to successfully hit this creature a couple of times. You kind of pinned in there, but you stab the eye. It recoils in pain, and you see now that where the flames are licking at this thing, the fur is burning away, and you just see charred, broken skin left behind. You can't move. Your speed reduced to 0, so that's the end of your turn. It is the beast's turn, and it's just gonna keep trying to hit Chirpy.
Did it move out of the
Does
range
it still
of
have
the?
to take D4?
Yes, it still needs to take the D4 fire damage.
And the deck saves for the grease and the create bonfire.
It will have moved out of those.
Okay.
So it takes 4 points of fire damage from the alchemists.
Okay, so the fire is still raging on this thing. It is making no attempt to put this fire out, by the way. You get the feeling that maybe this thing isn't too smart. And it's burning to death and hasn't thought about maybe I should put the fire out. Nonetheless, it's going to attempt to attack at Chirpy with a 18 to hit.
I'll give cutting that a go, I think.
Okay.
So that's a 13, which will miss.
Okie dokie. And the second attack is a 19 to hit.
I'm out of reactions.
So take that one. Yeah, where's my D8? You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as once again Kieran is used as a cudgel against you.
5 points. Okay.
I like to imagine it's like it's not actually hitting me with me; it's hitting Chirpy with the shield that I'm carrying.
Yeah, you're in this thing's fist, right? You have your sword sticking out one way, you have the shield, and you see and you feel like being swung towards Chirpy, and you just sort of instinctively duck behind it. You're shield bashing Chirpy. There's just a great thong sound every time Chirpy gets hit. Okay, so that will bring us back to Wrecked. Your senior officer has just alerted your fellow officer that they're basically abandoning him. What would you like to do?
Would Chirpy go before me, or did he go down?
Oh, no, sorry, yes, Chirpy. Yes, my apologies.
No problem. Chirpy is going to whistle his usual flattened fifth out of tune for a first level Dissonant Whispers.
Okay. That is a natural 1.
A natural 1 will cause him to take 12 psychic.
12 psychic damage. Nice. And he has to move backwards, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He'll move out of melee, essentially, which is the important thing there.
Okay.
And I'll throw a healing word on myself, just at first level, just for a bonus action.
Okay, so Chirpy, as you whistle this horrifically horrible flat note, the creature backs up, and by this point it is right on the edge of dark, thick woodland. And you can tell now by the movements of its head that it's weighing up whether it's worth staying here or whether it should maybe run away. You can tell by its body language. It's very like, what do we do? So that is the end of your turn, which will bring us to Wrecked.
How bad off does Kieran look, damaged wise, wound wise, bruise wise?
He's looking actually really rather fit as a fiddle. He's looking very bright, very shiny, very roguishly handsome in his own way.
Oh, and do you have lots of metal on?
Yeah.
Metal armor?
He's wearing chainmail.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like this thing shouldn't get away, so I think another 100-foot, 5-foot wide column of lightning, thinking that Kieran's just going to amplify this effect in his hand. So I think the last third level spell I have is a full lightning bolt into the creature. It gets a dexterity save of 15, DC 15.
Is that a single target spell, or is it like shoot that in a direction and hope nobody else is in the same way?
It's everything in a 5-foot cube, 100-foot long. Any more birds or things behind him?
Okay, so I will say, as he is a large creature, he does take up 2 spaces. So if you want to sort of aim it on the side that doesn't have Kieran, so you don't zap your own party member.
Sure, yeah, I would definitely try that.
See, I'm not mean. Will's just sat there like, fuck's sake. Okay, a dex save. That is a 13, so that is a failed dex save.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. 26 lightning damage ramps out and hammers into it.
Nice. Okay, and electricity courses through this thing, and Kieran, you don't take actual damage, but you feel the claw tighten around you, and you feel the body spasming as all these volts just charge through it. You watch as, like, even like from its eye, there's like bits flaring off. All its fur that isn't on fire is like stuck on end. It doesn't look great. Its horns that come up in like a twist, they've got like an arc of lightning between them. So is that like a continual effect, or is that just like a one-off wall?
Yeah, it's like just a straight column, 5 feet wide, and it goes for the full 6 seconds, and then it just dissipates.
Just dissipates. Okay. You've scotched a lovely new walking path into this woodland. It's beautiful. It's great. Is there anything else you want to do, movement-wise, bonus action, anything like that?
I will catch up with due diligence and just be sure that I'm there to support that officer who really kind of knows all of the procedures and protocols. So I want to stay close as much as I can.
Okay, so Rex has just summoned an incredibly impressive bolt wall of lightning, and he's making his way up to you. What would you like to do?
For a moment, he does consider throwing another fireball, but he also remembers that the last time that he hit somebody with a fireball that was also a member of the TPD, there was a lot of paperwork involved.
There was, yeah.
There was. So instead, he's going to use that last third level spell slot to cast Magic Missile.
Okie doke.
At third level. That'll be a total of 20 force damage, right between the eyes.
Force damage. Okay.
He's got him lined up. He's got the aim just right.
It's like a little reticle comes in front of the camera with the sights.
Yep.
Go scope. I see it. Okay. So, this creature is looking incredibly rough by this point. It has had the absolute crap kicked out of it. But Kieran, you're up.
One last hurrah just to say, come on, buddy.
Oh, wait, we need to do your damage first. Hang on.
Yes, do the damage.
That's 1 point of bludgeoning damage from being crushed.
Ow.
And 4 points of fire damage.
Okay, give me a second. So, 2. And 4 points of fire?
Yep. So 5 total.
Okay. Ow. How dare he? Screw this guy. This stab in the face again.
Alright, let's go. So remember disadvantage?
That's a 20.
Yeah, sure. That'll hit.
Yeah. and a 25.
Yep, that'll do it.
First one's for 12 points of slashing damage,
Mm-hmm.
and second one is for 14 points of slashing damage.
Nice. Okay. It's still against all odds. This thing is still standing, but you have carved gouts out of its face, and there's just exposed bone. There's like tendons and stuff that are all flapping that you've disconnected. But it is this creature's turn, and it sees.
Can I just,
Mhm.
as a, like, this is like a bonus action, let's like flash my badges. TPD, you have the right to remain silent. Give him the ground.
We have a warrant.
I would like you to roll the fire damage from the alchemist fire. So roll 1d4.
2.
Okay. This thing starts limping away into the path that Rect has just made in the woodland, you still in its grasp. As it moves, let's say, its speed of 40 feet into this woodland, Kieran, you feel you're suddenly in the air. You're getting closer to its face, and it's going to attempt to eat you. I need you to make me a like a grapple check, so either athletics or acrobatics to escape being eaten.
We're gonna go with an athletics on this one.
I'll throw in a reaction bardic inspiration on that.
Okay.
And I believe the
Okay.
creature has disadvantage as well because of the reduce.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Yep, on strength and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my! Come on, baby. Pulled it out. 22.
Okay, so as it holds you above its big toothy maw, and you see it opens, it hangs lower than it should, as you have definitely disconnected something up in that really just too long of a mouth. It sort of dangles you in there and drops you onto its tongue. And you feel as its jaw is trying to close around you, but it's just not quite strong enough, as you are sort of like, Herculean sort of holding up the top of its jaw with your great strength. And you watch Chirpy and Wrecked as Kieran is just kind of stood heroically in this mouth of this creature, which is still on fire, by the way, and not being chomped by its mighty jaws, which will bring us to Chirpy.
Chirpy is moving up to stay out of melee range, but within sort of 40-foot range, as it were. That way, he can wave his wing at it and go, "You can run all you want, but you're going to the vet!" And that's a wisdom save.
A wisdom save. That is a 2.
Probably not going to do an awful lot, so call that 6 psychic.
6 psychic damage. Karen, inside this creature's mouth, everything kind of just turns sideways as it goes, huh? You're thrown off balance, but managed to maintain your heroic hold. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Chirpy?
No.
All right, Wrecked, you are up.
I would like to move within 60 feet of the creature if I can.
Yep,
If it hasn't gotten that far. And we will begin to cast another spell, and this one is a Ray of Frost. I feel like I'm going to try to put out the fire around the mouth area where it's trying to chew on Kieran. That way Kieran doesn't get hurt by the fire. So it is just a regular roll here. So let's go ahead and see if we can do it here. So we get that modifier and that. Does a 16 hit?
It sure does.
All right, so this would be 2d8, and it so 7 frost damage, and that slows it by 10 feet so it loses 10 feet of its movement.
Cool. Sweet.
It begins to slow down.
Yeah, and Karen, in fact, you feel this. Its movements, which were quite fast and frenetic, suddenly are much more labored, and things are feeling a bit chillier around you. You are nice and toasty with all this fire, but it appears that maybe some of this fire has been put out. Okay, so that will bring us to Do.
Well, hitting it between the eyes didn't seem to do much, so he's going to try and kneecap this thing with the magic missile. And we'll use our last second little spell slot for that one. That'll be 12 points of force damage to whatever knee looks the worst.
Okay, the left kneecap is the one that has been the most, like, in front. It's always had its kind of right leg behind as it's been, like, being all beastie and rad. So you launch your bolts into the left kneecap, and it jolts as it drops to the other knee. That kneecap is just gone. It's somewhere in the woods. It flew off somewhere. Kieran, your whole world shifts down by about 6 feet as this thing drops to one knee. However, this thing is literally on its last leg. Bring us home.
Alright. Am I still considered restrained and or grappled while I'm holding up his mouth?
Nah. Rule of cool. Kratos that thing.
I'm gonna take my hand at my longsword, kind of aim up where I think its brain or what semblance of a brain it may have, and this thrust up.
Yes! Roll your attacks. So these are just straight rolls now, there's no disadvantage.
Come on, baby. No!
Will, come on, man!
Welcome to the TPD.
Come on, attack number 2. Come on.
What size Hawaiian
17.
shirt did you order him?
17 hits. Okay, so roll your damage for that second one.
12 points of damage.
Okay, so for this, we zoom out to the greater field at play. Rect, Chirpy, you're watching from a distance. You've got the Hawaiian shirt on order. You're ready. You're filling in the forms as you watch as this beast's mouth snaps shut around Kieran. He's gone. He's been eaten. And there's a moment of horrific silence as this beast looks at you all, its mouth closed, before it lets out a horrendous scream and its mouth falls open, and within you see Kieran with his sword thrust straight into the top of this creature, right? Go to the brain through the mouth, and he is coated in this black, thick, oozy blood. And the creature tumbles to the ground. Face first, skids a good couple of feet forwards as Kieran stands there, triumphant.
Due Diligence walks over, puts manacles on the body, hoses Kieran down, and congratulates him on his first arrest with the TPD.
Thanks, boss. And he just collapses on his face.
face down in the dirt. This creature is a large creature. So do you have large size manacles?
Probably somewhere.
Yeah,
It kind of rustles around, digs around for a little bit in there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of awkward moments where there's like metallic rattling as Dew is delving into his own chest cavity to find these manacles before, haha, a pair is secured. This creature is definitely extremely dead, however.
I've got a quick question. Because reduce is still in effect. Wouldn't this like Hulk out after like a few seconds?
Yeah, it would. Yeah. So, you go to manacle this large creature, and as you raise up one of its deceased arms to attach his manacle, it grows incredibly in size. All of a sudden.
Falls over.
So now the scene, there's a huge dead creature in a field. Kieran is face down in the dirt, and Due Diligence just fell over.
And Chubby looking over at the remains of the wagons and the horses, and just weakly flaps his wings a little bit, goes up about 3 feet, and says, "Well, I think you're on your own for getting to the Nick, Sonny."
Wrecked, what do you do?
Yeah, I go over to Do and I look through the filing cabinet. And for the largest stack of paperwork, which is the paperwork for when a suspect is killed, and I go and I bring that over to Kieran, who killed the suspect, and says, I think you have to fill all these out, or you get in some type of trouble. I'm not sure. And it's like a big stack of paperwork.
I take them, look at them, and throw them on the bonfire. And then just like start dragging this corpse away with me. Like, Fire Giant strength lasts for an hour. I don't know how long I can take before I stop being able to pull this thing back to the TPD.
Okay, so Chirpy is flying. The horses tragically didn't make it. They will get their own horseshoe on the wall of the TPD for all those horses that never come back from their missions.
And a Hawaiian shirt.
And a Hawaiian shirt.
And a Hawaiian shirt. They must all be buried.
Now, with Captain Colt coming in, it's become policy that the horses also get Hawaiian shirts now.
Okay, so you alert a team to come retrieve the fallen horses. And about halfway back to town, Kieran, this fire giant strength just stops. And you've been dragging this thing absolutely fine. People are horrified as you're dragging this beast through town. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit. And you can't drag it any further. You are in front of the Muffin Man's, one of the very popular coffee shop chains in Thailandia. You're in front of a coffee shop as this happens, and people are just kind of like, you're causing a scene.
I drop the corpse and head inside for a coffee and a muffin.
Chirpy is going to hold up the cell phone that he would have picked up from the field earlier on, that was probably dropped by PP at the time, and go, "It's okay, we're making a video."
At one point, a young elven woman says, "Oh my god, you're making a video? Can I be in it? Do you want my like person on the street reaction to this scene? Because look, I've been to the Thailandia acting school, so I can do it. It'll be enough. It's a speaking role. I can get in the Screen Actors Guild."
Finbar rolls up to her, Dude rolls up as Finbar, doing his Finbar thing. He goes, "Hey, I will make you a star."
Roll a deception check.
Oh no. Wait a minute. Oh, I do have that. Hang on a second. $16?
The girl stops, completely turns away from Chirpy and goes, "Oh my god, are you the Finbar?"
Yes, I am. And the camera winks.
And she turns to Chirpy, "Can you get a picture of us? Can you get a picture of us?" And then she's like, "I love your underwear. I wear it all the time. I've got all my girlfriends in." And she's just going off on like this huge star
Would you like
strut.
another pair?
And she's like completely just non-responsive. She is shut down at this point. The hand is on the chest, the eyes are wide. I'm pretty sure she stopped breathing. So as Chirpy gets a photo of this woman who has stopped breathing, talking to a very obvious robot with eyeliner on. As Karen is in the background getting a coffee and a muffin. Rect, what are you doing in this scene?
I'm setting up the police caution tape around the corpse, and then I'll direct traffic while we're waiting.
So this beautiful tableau, we zoom out. Rect he's put on a little pair of white gloves and he's, gesturing to traffic. Chirpy is taking a photo. Kieran is getting his drink. We zoom out, and peace once more is restored to Taylandia for another. Peace is restored to Taylandia another day, and that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for playing with me tonight. That was so much fun.
Wow.
Ooh.
Gentlemen, you were great.
Thank you. You were great as well. I
was fun.
loved you so much.
Thank you.
I like that there's now a Rule 10, so that's great. We are expanding.
Yes.
There is a rule 10. I mean, the unspoken rule is that there must be a new rule every session, at least one new rule every session. So we hope that by the end to have a good set of very important police rules. But
Rule 11, always stab them in the eye.
go for the eyes, boo.
Yes.
Okay.
Rule number 11.
So before we say goodnight tonight, and before we hand over for the next very good show that is about to appear on this very channel, let's go around, everybody. We'll see if you enjoyed yourself tonight and where we can find you on the internet. So we'll go the order we did when we started. Will, did you have a good time tonight, and where can we find you on that great World Wide Web?
I have had a fantastic night tonight. This is by far and above one of the best games I've ever played in. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Susie, and everyone else. You've been ecstatic tonight. I love this so much. You can often find me at WilliamAvery94 is my Twitter handle, screaming and fluent nerd about all things D&D, heavy metal, and daily life. Occasionally talking in various chats like Encounter Roleplay or Susie's channel, wherever you can find me. I'll be there. D&D. It's my thing.
Nice. And Lucian, did you have fun tonight? And where can we find you on the internet?
Yes, I had a fantastic time, and as somebody who's normally the dungeon master for a lot of shows just like this, it was awesome to have the pleasure of such a great dungeon master lead us through a really good story. So it was my pleasure to be a player, and I thought you weaved a great story and the players helped along, and it was super fun. Everybody can find me at Sir Lucian Gaming. If you want to see me on Twitch, you can go to twitch.tv/Sir Lucian, all one word. Also on YouTube, youtube.com/Sir Lucian. I'm also one half of the Saturday morning D&D show that happens at noon with Jordan, the PH is Silent. You might know him from the Forgotten Realms YouTube channel. We do a lot of stuff, like a lot of big interviews and a lot of D&D news, which is super cool. I do a homebrew campaign for all of our fans. So we have a living West Marches campaign, and we do a lot of games just like this. And I just enjoy getting on Encounter Roleplay and Scraticus's channel and Anaris's channel and Pro Restarter's channel. It's really fun to see all these communities, Web DM show, that all kind of work together and show up on each other's shows and stuff. So it's been super fun, and I loved every minute of it tonight. So thanks very much for the invite.
Thank you for playing. And Staffan, did you enjoy your return to the TPD, and where can we find you on the internet?
Oh, it's always so much fun here at the TPD. I mean, why would anybody ever leave? Thanks all. I mean, that was a great show. Anybody can find me pretty much anywhere as Staffan TJ. I would say stay tuned for the opener of Low Adventure coming up. That's going to be quite something. Sometimes I hang out in the more Cthulhu shows here, particularly the 2 p.m. on Wednesdays. The Plays for Cthulhu is here on 2 p.m. Wednesdays. Sometimes over at Grimjack's, Scraticus, sort of, but anywhere and everywhere. Like Solution in that sense. But yeah, that was good fun. Thanks all.
Thank you very much for coming back. And last but not least, Cleric of Cod. Did you have a good time? Where can we find you?
My cheeks are hurting. Like we talked about last week. Yeah. If your cheeks are hurting the day after or after the game, you've done it right. You know, this is best abdominal workout there is laughter. My name is Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord on the Twitters. You can find me here on Thursdays as Due Diligence. I'm back again on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the 40K Warhammer game, playing Stefania Gregori, a sister of battle, who is looking forward to finally getting a chance to behead some heretics if our adept doesn't do it first. The adept has the highest by far kill count in the game. It's amazing. You can find me also all over the Twitches, playing in different D&D games, some homebrews. Check the pinned tweet on my Twitter page, and you'll see where I'm at. And I will be back here this weekend on Saturday playing Warhammer Fantasy with Will as our DM. And on Sunday, I will be playing Bluebeard's Bride with Jonathan Fry as our storyteller. So you definitely want to, if you've never seen Bluebeard's Bride, we've got a great group of people playing, and Don as a DM is just beautiful. And I'll be here back again in a few minutes for this new low fantasy game.
All right, well, thank you very much again for playing with us this week. As for myself, I am Susanna Grace, otherwise known as Susie. I am a variety streamer who does a whole bunch of stuff, including video games, art, and tabletop RPGs online. You can find me 3 days a week on my channel, which is twitch.tv/Susanna Grace, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Fridays, I'm here. Tomorrow, I'll be here playing Act on Cthulhu 2D20 as Elsie Braithwaite, the grease monkey from Leeds. On Sunday, you can find me on WebDM playing a vampire in the 80s using Cypher System. So I'm much like these other folk. I'm everywhere these days. So if you're sick of me, I'm sorry. Otherwise, please do check out my Twitter, as I have a pinned tweet that shows you exactly where I am on what day and what I'm doing. But once more, thank you all so much for playing with me tonight. You guys are hilarious. Like Kat said, my face hurts, my abs hurt. I'm going to be ripped by the end of this series. And thank you all so much for watching live with us tonight. And if you're watching on YouTube, hi, we love YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Yeah. That's it from us tonight. So make sure to not roll too many natural ones, because we want to be there laughing when you do. And we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.